Hello and welcome to the TTI Distribution Download, the podcast where we talk about all things happening in the world of electronic components with the specialists of TTI. Today, it's another installment of big ideas and little-known facts about connectors with John Sandy of TTI and Molex's John Crimmins.
Thanks, Jim, and welcome everybody to the Molex TTI series of podcasts, big ideas and little-known facts in the world of connectors. I'm John Sandy from TTI, and with me today is my co-host, John Crimmins from Molex. Welcome, John.
Hey there, John.
Our guest today is Elena Duggar, New Market Development Manager at Molex. Hey, Elena. Welcome to the podcast series.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you on. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing today at Molex, and maybe a little bit about your Molex career so far.
Sure thing. I started with Molex about 25 years ago as a fresh engineering graduate from Purdue University. I started in inside sales, and then I moved out to the field in field sales in Silicon Valley. From there, I was in product management, eventually did some product management and product management supervisory position in our power and signal business unit. And now I get to take all those skills and experiences and explore the exciting world of new markets.
So, Elena, you're new market development manager. Can you dig into that deeper for the listening audience and explain exactly what your role is?
Absolutely. I think first it helps to define new market. New market could be markets that are just new to Molex. They're markets that are, experiencing high rates of growth, or really just markets where we have not yet, made significant headway. So what new market development does, we are responsible for the initial validation of the attractiveness of new markets. We study market trends. We identify potential customers and their applications and technologies. And, the thing about new markets is they're quite challenging. They tend to be global across many different sales regions. The design decisions may be spread across several different design locations. There's a wide range of applications and systems. And oftentimes there's a, poor starting position with maybe limited print position, lack of relationships, limited technical understanding. So we're here to bridge that gap.
So obviously there's a lot of moving pieces in this role and the challenges that lie ahead. Could you give us an idea of how you are approaching this and if you like managing and overcoming those challenges?
Sure. So, for approaching new markets, first, we build knowledge through application teardowns. We do a lot of desk research to understand the competitive landscape. We're really there to light the target for sales, help accelerate their account planning. We make sure we understand the customer needs and the problems to be solved. I see it as our job to arm sales with all the tools necessary so they can really hit the ground running. We also create impactful marketing materials. And lastly, it's really important that we provide our partners like TTI with the latest, marketing collateral, product presentations, and make sure we're really joining forces to grow in these new markets together.
It sounds very much, Elena, like you're really trying to arm your distribution partners and your field teams with the necessarily knowledge, product expertise, market expertise to really hit the ground running and help the customers. Would that be fair to say? And are you seeing that as one of the key parts of this role?
Absolutely. And, our partners are really excited. I think they're all trying to do the same. Everyone wants to stay relevant and be where the action and excitement is. So I think it's our duty to make sure that we're providing the tools and the information to help make that a seamless process.
So, Elena, Molex is definitely a technology company. We try to be cutting edge. We try to stay ahead of new developments, new applications. But what made your position's relatively new? What made Molex decide that, hey, they need somebody to be front and center new markets?
Yeah, I think, it's important that we remain agile and, maintain a growth-oriented mindset. I think, we always have to be prepared for what's next. I think organizations that venture into new markets are more equipped to respond to global trends, which I think, again, helps them maintain relevance and thrive in an ever-changing business environment. I think finding the right structure to develop new markets really required us to do something different than we've done before. And I think having this new market development group just really helped us find the sweet spot in doing this.
If you put yourself, Elena, in the position of our customers, as we move forward, and obviously as you start rolling this out to the sales teams, and then obviously you'll be on to the next one, what do you see as the key benefits that our customers are going to get out of the work you're doing and the preparation you're managing to achieve for the sales teams and the distribution partners?
Yeah, that's a good question, John. I think that customers definitely benefit by receiving the best-in-class support by our sales teams who are, knowledgeable about these markets and the applications and certainly the Molex solutions that are going to meet the needed requirements in these markets. I think also by being really intentional and focusing on these new markets often drives innovation. New markets can pose unique constraints. Maybe it's size limitations. Maybe there's some stringent material requirements. Whatever the case may be, this can lead to advancements in design and innovation. And, at Molex, we're all about enabling next generation technology and driving innovation. So I think that this new market development is putting us right where we need to be, and the customers will definitely benefit from that.
Do you see some of the business units also utilizing the work you're doing to look at maybe their product ranges and their product roadmap going forward, and maybe even bringing something up that was currently planned but maybe was further out, or maybe even adding brand new products to that roadmap? Do you see that as maybe something that will come out of this whole process?
Absolutely. I think, our research in these new markets, often we may see a gap and speak with the various business units, and we'll find that products are likely already on their roadmap, but perhaps we can accelerate their timing. So I do think that with good collaboration between our group and the various BUs, we're able to make sure that we are, staying on top of trends or ahead of trends, and making sure that we are going to have the products in the right place at the right time. So collaboration with the business units is key, and making sure that we keep churning new products and staying ahead with technology. So it's definitely something we're seeing, and hopefully new innovation and products most certainly come out of this new market development group in conjunction with our business units, of course.
So, Elena, TTI works with 4 major business units in Molex, and they'll work with all the business units, but there's 4 that are really driving TTI's North American number. It's the Power and Signal business unit, the Micro Solutions business unit, our Transportation business unit, and Industrial business unit. Is one of those business units you're working closer with, or do you work with all 4? Can you kind of tell the listeners how you go about that?
Yeah, that's a good question, John. I'd like to say that our group we're sort of business unit agnostic, meaning, we represent all business units. We are one Molex, and, we're looking for all products to promote, or I guess you could say we're interested and curious about everything. But I do think, certainly there's a lot of opportunities for Power and Signal. But that's not to say that we don't see opportunities and areas to work with all the business units. Absolutely. Since being in this role, I've seen products and opportunities in every single one of the business units. So it's definitely something that everybody should get excited about and pay attention to, because it's ever changing, and there's something for everybody to get a bit excited about.
So a follow-up question to that. So TTI has 5 business development managers in North America who's focused on finding new connector applications and connectors for those applications. If they are in a new market, how would they go about that? Do they contact you? Do they contact Molex sales? Can you explain that a little better?
I think it's always important to stay connected with their, sales counterparts. In my role, I really tend to move fast. We study a market, and once we sort of hand over to sales, we're probably likely on to the next market. So, of course, I'm always here to support any way I can, but I think it's best to work with their sales counterparts. In our process, we do create collateral, so hopefully it helps to start the conversations and help them understand maybe what products might be recommended in certain applications. So I think if we've done our job properly, we're not leaving too many questions or holes on what products go where. I think we're trying to really help educate on what BUs or, what products to recommend. And that is a part of our process too, is, recommending certain products for certain applications. But long story short, I think working with their sales counterparts at these customers will really help them understand maybe what product lineups make the most sense.
That was a really good summary, actually, there, Elena. Appreciate that. If we were just going to leave our listeners with one final thought when it comes to Molex and new market development and your role and the benefits that they may see coming out of that, is there anything you would like to share as we close out?
Yeah, I think that new markets and trends will always arise, and this position, I think, is really crucial in investigating those opportunities and trends. I think expanding into new markets is not just about immediate profits. It's about, building a strong organization prepared for what lies ahead, and one that has a broader influence and a robust base for a sustainable development. And I'm just eager to contribute to that effort in my small little way. So, it's an exciting role, and it's pretty cool to see, first off, how fast things are moving, technology's moving, but, you got to stay nimble, stay on your toes, and sort of be ready for how fast things are moving and kind of go with it. Otherwise, you miss out.
Thank you, Elena.
Well said, Elena. I think that gives a good overview for North America customers to let them know if they have a new technology, why and how to get Molex involved. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks very much, Elena. And there we have it for today, folks. That was Elena Duggar, new business development manager at Molex, giving us a really good overview of what's happening and what's new and exciting, and how that role is going to be affecting things as we move forward. So appreciate you joining us today. Join us next time for another exciting installment from Molex and TTI on big ideas and little-known facts in the world of connectors.
That's it for this episode of the TTI Distribution Download. For more information on any of the topics you heard about today, reach out to your nearby TTI branch at 1-800-CALL-TTI or visit us online at tti.com.